Hello, it's Sarah. I wanted to give you an update on the mala situation. Alright, so let's see where my camera. Alright, so this was my first one that I didn't have enough rope. What I did for this one, and this is the problem, I think I'm going to have to find a spool of thread. Now, that being said, when I went to make this one, okay, so what I did for this one was just double up one spool, which it's already pre-cut so you can't measure it, and this is all it gave me room to do, which to make a mala, the idea is you want to be able to put 108 beads on the necklace, and depending on the size of the beads. Now, okay, that's the next thing. I thought that using a 6mm bead, if using a number 6, I googled it and it said that anything that the hole in the bead when you tie the knot would keep it in place, right? So you need to go by the hole in the bead. Well, I finally figured out that yes, I need a number 6 cord, and then in the other cords it's actually called D. I think this is called a D. No, number 4. So actually, ooh, number 4 is a 6mm. Let's see what this is. This is 7. So this one might have worked better doubled. I didn't think of that because when I went to do this one, these are just little shell beads. They're made out of shell, and I couldn't do doubled. I only used one strand. So in other words, you can use one strand. It was long enough, but doubled makes it thicker. You're going to have, so look, just this little knot here, and then my tassel is just held on with, well, it's a couple knots, but they're only one strand thick. And the other thing is, I don't love the tassels. I think you need like silk cord to make your tassel with too. And these are just made out of the standard, this stuff, which maybe there is like a more satiny version. This one looks like much more satiny actually. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to it. This one doesn't, but it just seems like it doesn't seem as nice. Like, I don't know. It just seems, and plus when I tried to cut this, I cut part of the tassel. But anyway, for my first one, I feel like I was successful. But this, like I said, it's only one strand pulled out all the way, could fit 108, because you can't double it. You don't have enough room. So, doubled. If I doubled that rope, it only came to this. So now for this one, I decided to tie 2 of these together at the end. So down here I took, this is a peach colored one and a white one, and I tied them together. Oops, hold on. Well, now it doesn't matter. Anyway, and so that way I was able to have a double strand, and it'll be thicker and have the long length. So that's what I decided to do. Okay, so now I'm knotting. There's a couple different ways to get your knot. So I just take my fingers and put all the beads through, and you just do an overhand knot. My one lady, and I can't think of her name, she just does it with her finger and just pulls the knot down to the end as close to the bead as you can, and then you separate your strands, and it goes right up against the knot, the bead. So that I hadn't tried because yesterday I had to do them all. I used the needle nose pliers, but this time because I had 2 strands, I was able to try that, and that is working. I've already done those. Now what I do is you string all your beads first. So you make your pattern. So it's basically the same pattern as this. I did 7 and 7, 14, 14, and then 66. Because you have to equal 108. So I just used the same pattern and these are amethyst beads, and then I'm not sure what these are. I think these might just be glass beads. They're not like semi-precious or anything, but I just like the color of them. So you string them all on, and these strings come with their own little needles attached to the end of the string, and so I used those. But if it was on a spool, you wouldn't have that, so you just have to use either a piece of wire to thread them. I'll show you in more detail, but I just wanted to give you that update that it really does matter what size hole is in the bead. like it's even tight just pulling these along the double, like look, when I pull it down, I mean, it's snug. It's moving, but it's snug in there. There's not a lot. Like, I don't think I could fit another strand in there if I needed to. So I just go over and make an overhand knot, and then she lays it down and she just pulls that circle all the way down to the, as close to the bead as you can get. And then you separate these strands and it ties the knot right up against the bead. So I really like that idea of that you don't need any tools. The other, I'll show you how I did the other one. So you do the same thing. Oop, I gotta bring another bead down. So, and this is really handy that I don't have to string beads anymore. My beads are all on the mala. So see, that knot is kind of wonky looking. Let me just, excuse my nails too. It looks like I bite my nails and I don't, but they just will not grow. All right, that looks better. Okay. All right, so you just make an overhand, crisscross knot. And then if you were doing it with the tool, you let your kind of loop hang down and go inside the loop and grab the string right up against the bead, and then pull the string and it knots right up against the bead. When you let it go, you kind of have to still push it down. So I mean, I did pretty good with that. Either way works. And then there's another one, Beadalon actually sells a knotting tool, and that looked really cool too. They didn't have it at Michael's, but I really don't need another tool. And I knew that there was another, like, you don't need that tool to do it. I mean, it was fast though. I mean, I watched the lady demo it, and if you're going to be doing a lot of these, I mean, you could get one. But I was able to sit on the couch, so you don't even need to sit at my desk. I was able to sit on the couch last night and just knot these, simply, like I just did that, and then I would grab this. This is what I did on the couch. I just grab that, and then you pull, and your knot just go, you want it to go as close to the bead as you can. So as I tighten it, I just kind of push it down up against it. But I really like the idea of just tightening it like that. I couldn't do that yesterday because I only used one strand on here. So I didn't have anything to open. The other thing is it's making a nice size knot. Like it kind of really makes it separated, so I'll zoom in a little bit. So this is 2 strands, 1 knot, and this is 1 strand, and they're much smaller knots. So see, but the hole in this bead is small enough that little knot is keeping them in place. So I didn't need to, and then sometimes maybe you'll come across a bead that has a bigger hole and you can actually just double knot it. So there's a lot of ways to fudge it, and I do like that because when you're first starting out, like there are a couple of spots in here where my knot got tied a little further away from the bead. But then I just re-knot. Let's see if I can show you what I mean. So this one looks like a double knot because when I first knotted it, it was like really far away and the bead could move back and forth. So then I put another one closer to the bead just to fix it. And then, like you don't notice it. Yeah, so the tassel, I'm not thrilled with the way the tassel looks, and there are lots of ways you can finish these. You don't have to put a tassel on the bottom, but I kind of wanted to try that look. I like this one too. This is, maybe the shorter ones look better. I'm going to be making some bracelets with a tassel too. They have wrist mandalas, I'm sorry, not mandalas, malas as well. So that's where I'm at, you guys. Oh, I need another bead. So yeah, but this is so convenient, this technique. Oh, look, I added a little turtle. So on this one, I didn't have any stoppers or spacer beads. There's just 109 regular beads. On this one, I have 109 beads, and I put a couple of turtles. I put a couple of owls because I wanted those there to remind me to be patient and for wisdom. So there's a knot there, so I'm going to go, and you just kind of use your finger, and if you pull, it brings that cord right up against, oops, you don't want it to go, oh geez, hold on. My little, I'm going to use the tweezers because my string got a little too small. I just have to make this hole bigger. The other thing is, the beads start to get heavy, and they will make your knot for you. If you see how the beads fell down and it made my knot. I was trying to make my knot for me, so you gotta have a little bit of control here. Hold on. It's fudgy, and you know, like I said, there's tons of videos, so I would suggest if you want to do this, you have to just watch a variety and see the different ways that people do it, and one will work for you. You know, you'll be able to do it. It's not rocket science, you know. I'm sure some people make beautiful knots. Mine are kind of clumpy, but I like it. So I got a turtle there, and I'm going to pull down, and I started the next color. I do 14 of these. So that's it. I think I'll turn the camera back on when I come to my guru bead, they call it, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. All right, I'll be back. All right. Guys, believe it or not, this is crazy because the whole time I'm like, I don't think I'm going to have enough to finish this, right? So this is what I started out with. I tied the two sides together, and I left, this is about 6 inches or so, because you have to tie your tassel with that. So I knotted and knotted and knotted and knotted and knotted and knotted and knotted, and I made it to the end. But look how much is left. It's almost exactly the same amount. So I think, I would say, with a 6mm bead and 2 of these bead-a-line, wait a minute, did I use the bead-a-line? Oh geez, yes I did. 2 of these cards, which I don't really know how long they are. It says 0.28 inches, so how long is that? 6.5 feet. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it is. It's 2 of them, and tie it together, and then use a double strand of 6.5 feet. Yes, that's what it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to string all of these strings. I could tie it together, and I'm going to use this as my guru bead. The guru bead is the one that you use to join the 2 sides, and it's considered the teacher bead. So during your mantras, there's a special way. You never cross your guru bead. Like after I did all my mantras and I got to there, if I wanted to continue, you have to, and you don't use this finger either because this finger represents fire. You have to flip it somehow, I don't know how, and start going back the other way. Anyway, the guru bead, so I used this pretty purple one, which I kind of like. I think I am just going to use this. So I got this from, I think, Amazon. And it's really not a true guru bead because guru beads have a hole, 2 holes, and then they have a 3rd hole on the bottom so that you can put your strings in the side and then go down the bottom to do your tassel. This has 2 holes, but then it's like a, look, it's a free form, like it's a cutout bead. And because I put the silver turtles and the silver owls, I'm going to use this one because I think it just plays, it'll play into that. So I could tie this, and I think I should. And when you tie a mala, you're supposed to say one for sun, one for the moon, and it's about energy and all that stuff. And I'm not doing this one that way because these are considered my practice malas. Because I honestly, I really am still just getting the hang of the whole process. I have to cut off the needle. So there's one needle. Where's my other needles? Here's another one. But yeah, that worked. Doing the 4 strands. Oh, this one has a knot. So I'm just going to cut off the knot that I tied at the beginning. Okay. So they're both knotted. Both ends are knotted. I could just tie this together. Most of the videos I saw, see, and this I definitely tied together, and this I did, I think I did. But I could just, maybe I'll try it both ways. Now I have this flexible needle that I'm going to try and poke through the fake guru bead. So I'm going to thread this onto this needle, these 2 strands first. So I have 2 strands, these 2 strands are on there through the needle, and I'm going to go in one of the sides, the actual hole, and then I'm going to wiggle it to go through to the bottom. It's not going through. Oh, it is. All right, and let me see what that's going to look like. So it's going to connect up to there and then go, it's not actually centered. It's annoying because it's not a true guru bead. I'm going to come in and show you what I mean. But don't mind my thumbs because they just won't grow. I'm getting nails on some of these fingers, but they're terrible. Anyway, so I went in the traditional hole on the one side and I tried to come down to a hole on the bottom, but it's not centered. Like it's kind of either side of the flower. There really isn't like a centered hole. So now I have to take the needle and thread the other two strands through my needle. I'm going to come up a little because it's way too fudgy. I'm going to try and get these both to go through this needle. This is, so a little story too before my neighbor, Bill, he's a nice enough guy. He's new, but he's got a backhoe and he kind of is grading his land and doing some work in his yard, and he frickin' drove over and dug up our fiber optic cable. So we have no TV and no internet tonight. So we're going to read books and play games. But anyway, so that's just a little different, but we call it the bios and they're going to come. Alright, so I'm going in the side and now I want to try and get this to come out, oh good, the same hole that the other two. Maybe it's just because it's like it won't go through because it's like four. Oh shoot, that's hard. It's like 4 widths of string. Oh, I got it. You see what I mean? Like because it's doubled over, it seems like there's 4. Really, there's only 2, but it's doubled. Okay. So without tying a knot on top, I like the way this looked. So let me show you what I'm saying. I mangled this. I am not gentle. Okay. So on this one, I tied the knot first, and then I just took all the strands and put them down through this tiger's eye bead. On this one, I did the same thing. I tied the knot first, then I put all the strands down through this little bead. This one, I did not tie a knot first, and it looks cool because it looks like the necklace just continues, but the thing is, this isn't straight, so it's kind of like, see how it's coming out on the side because it's not like the hole. There isn't a center hole, like they're all off center because the flower is actually in the middle. So I wouldn't be able to get it straight centered, but it'll be good enough. And then there's this other little piece which I think is just basically a bead cap. So I still need to, I'll feed these down separately, or maybe I'll try to do 2 at a time. 2 at a time is just much simpler. And look, I took this wire. This is just a wire that I would use to, I don't even know what I used the wire for, but it's just a wire. And I'm going to feed it through. This is what I consider a bead cap. And just pull that through. And see, then the guru bead will hide all these strings. That actually worked really nice to just get this to thread through. As long as it'll fit with all 4 cords, I think we're in business. Okay, so I definitely could, I'm going to definitely tie a knot down here. I'm just going to tie all these strands together. And like I said, every knot that you tie on a mala, you say like, this is for earth, this is for water, this is for sky. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know that you do that when you're tying a mala. I'm going to do 2 just to make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. And then the rest I'm going to use to, so this is it. This is the base of my mala. I'm going to go back up. And I mean, I'm tempted to not do this right now. I want this color because it really matches the amethyst. I have pinks because I just ordered some rosary beads, not rosary beads. Maddie wants me to make him a rosary. I might be doing that too. I ordered pink because I want to make rose quartz, a rose quartz mala. And so I got these pinks, but this doesn't look, it doesn't have a sheen. Where's the other one? This one. See the sheen on this? It looks more silky and satiny, so I'm really tempted. This one doesn't have it. And I didn't know that there was a difference. This one does. Ooh, maybe I'll use this. This could be pretty with it. On camera it looks nice. I think I might use this one, even though this totally matches the purple. Because I want to see if this sheen is going to make a nicer, ooh, it is silky. This is silky. So what you're supposed to do is, I've seen a lot of videos doing this too. So I'm going to take a little piece off that I can tie the, oh gosh, I don't want it to come apart. I have to cut this off so that I can wrap this around the and tie it, the tassel. So I have this to tie it with. Then I take this and I'm going to lay it across here in the middle. So you want it centered, but once I tie this knot, I'll be able to slide it back and forth if it's not totally centered. But let's see if I can get it as centered as possible. I'm pretty good at eyeballing, and I'd like to try and tie this tight. Oh, this side looks, I'm going to go ahead and double tie it. That's pretty tight. And then so I'm just going to hold it like this and see if it's even. This side's definitely a little shorter, so I'm just going to tug it over a little bit. And then I think I'm going to cut these. I'm going to cut them off because I think they're going to stick out and bother me. I'm going to cut them off. And then I'm going to hold this kind of like if I were doing macrame. And just put this, I'm just going to put it under my finger. And you're supposed to go around 5 times, but I'll probably, like it, and again, you're saying it for a certain amount of things, for the wind, for the rain, for the sun, for the moon. Like, I don't really know what it is, but this is looking very high. Like, it's high up, and I went around like 10 times because I have to tie, oh boy. I did the other one like when I did macrame, and I kind of feel like I want to do that again because it'll hide the knot. I'm going to do it different. Okay, wait. Pause. Let's go back. I'm going to do this again. Don't worry. This is definitely silkier. It's falling apart. So, okay. Come on, little string. Don't fall apart on me. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, I got it. It basically came apart though. It's so silky. All right, so again, this is how you do it when you're doing a macrame piece. You hold the tassel like this, tight, like that. You make a little loop with your cord and you hold the loop, and then you start tying. You go 1, I'm keeping it close to the top, 2, 3, this is fudgy, 4, I didn't do my other ones on camera, 5, all right, and then you take this end and put it through that loop that I made, which I'm going to use the awl to help me. Here it is. I'm just going to reach through this thing and grab this through. can hear the robins out there, man. It is spring. And then what the heck is going on? This is a mess, you guys. And my wounded thumb grabbed it. I can't use this. It's really making me angry. This is a part, so I'm not using that. This is in here, and I have to use it because I already cut my thing. So what I'll do is I will take a piece of a different kind of string to tie it with. That's all. Do I have any scrap? This is way too short. Way too short. So I have two short little pieces. I am going to use a piece of this purple. The darker purple that's not as, this is not satiny at all. I'll use this. It'll be two-tone. Again, I'm making a loop. I think I might just go off camera and do it. You hold it down like this and just start wrapping. It's so annoying. Oh, crap. I'm going to go off camera and do it because it's not working out for me. It's getting very frustrating. It shouldn't be this hard, you guys. I'm going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going 6. Then I'm going to feed it up through here. I have no nails, so I can't. Boy, it falls apart so easy. The strands come apart. So oh Jesus, hold on. Okay, I gotta hold that. Then you pull the one below it. Okay, I got it. Thank goodness. Pull the one below it, and it doesn't hide it, and it's annoying me. You gotta pull them both. What it's supposed to do is hide the knot under there. It's working. I think I might just end up having to tie a knot too. I'm going to tie a knot. And then I'll cut it off. I did it. And then after this, you're supposed to cut it and you say, I cut away something or other. You cut away the negativity. That's what it is. So I'm going to cut. I kind of like that it's two-tone. See, that's a happy accident. And it looks good. This is a nice looking tassel compared to the other tassels I made. I don't know what that is trying to stick out. That's a part of the other. Okay, so then you would cut away the negativity like this. You cut away the negativity. That's what she said. I'm filming, Matt. I think he has his headphones on.
Oh, sorry.
All right, and then this is definitely a better tassel though because it's satin. Then I'm gonna give it a haircut. But this is fraying. Like this is totally frayed where I made the knots. So look, I'm not a perfect tassel maker, but that looks much prettier. This fabric, the satiny fabric, I'm a fan of that. But I gotta cut it, like give it a haircut. I'm supposed to anyway. It kind of looks good, fluffy, but I know I'm supposed to cut it straight. So anyway, yeah, like we have Alexa, and
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
yeah, she's having trouble.
Looks like a router issue.
It does.
So I restarted
It does, Alexa.
Unplug the router
Alexa,
for
stop.
15 seconds, then plug it
She
back
won't
in.
stop. It's because we have no fiber optics cable outside. But anyway, my fan, my craft fan, is attached to Alexa. So when I have a hot flash, I can just say, you know who, turn on the ceiling fan or the craft fan. This I like much better, even though, all right, let me come up. Even though it's, I just like the texture of the yes, I like it. Because see, here's the other one. It's just like, look, it sticks together. Like this has movement and it's more tassel-y. It's just that I used that other kind to make the tie, and I should have just clipped it off, but I like it. All right, so here it is. This is my mala. It's a two-tone tassel, and I did use that as my guru bead. Anyway, you guys, that's what I'm working on. All right, I'll be back. Maybe I'll do a rosary next time. Thanks for watching.